I am on page 202, and we are looking at relative minimums and maximums for this one. So I want to start with the coordinate plane, and I'm going to let the x-axis run pretty long, and then the y-axis not as long, but enough that we can see. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in the graph that I want to show you. Now, bear with me. I was going to do this off camera, and I thought, no, I want you to watch me draw it. So I'm going to do something sort of like this. Okay, that's not going to work. So let's do it maybe in a wave shape. Nope, it's not. So I'm going to have to try to freehand this one. So it's going to look hideous, I can tell you, because I can't draw. But here we go. Let's do it. This one kind of reminds me of an EKG graph, that same type of movement. So this graph has hills and valleys. If you're talking about wave theory, this is called a crest, and this is called a trough. So if you saw this in a science book, you would probably see crest and trough. But you can think of it as a hill and a valley. The hills are called maximums, and the valleys are called minimums. Okay, so that's more vocabulary. So let's take a look at the relative minimums and maximums. So let me move this up. I need to actually put a point right here. And then let's move the troughs down here. Okay, so here at this point is a hill. It's a crest. Just a hair higher, there's a crest on that one. And then over here we have a very large crest. All right. Then we have some valleys, some minimums. There's one a little bit lower, and here is yet another one. These relate to the y values. So let's get a definition, and that will help us. A relative minimum or maximum is a y coordinate now, not necessarily a y-intercept, just a y-coordinate, that is the highest or lowest point for some section of a graph. Okay. So, looking at my y-axis here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one is at 0, 4.5. This one is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.25. So back 7.25. up to 4 1/4, we'll say. And then this one is over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 1/2. And up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1/4. Okay, so the maximums are going to be these values. So we would say that the relative maximums, and relative just means that you have more than one. It depends on the section of the graph you're looking at. So the relative maximums are 4.25, 4.5, and 7.25 for my graph. And then the relative minimums, let's go ahead and calculate those. So this one is back 5 and down 5. This one is 1, 2, 3. It's over 3. And down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1/2. And then we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so over 12. And down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3/4. So the relative minimums are -5, -5.5, and -4.75. So it's going to be the y coordinates of these low points, the valley points. So to find relative minimums and maximums, you just have to look at your graph and figure out where those high and low points are.